So welcome to our new lecture. Okay, this is the lecture for class 9 science. In this particular lecture, we are going to discuss the chapter number 1, that is classification of plants. Okay, in the first lecture of the same chapter, we have seen the introduction to this particular chapter. Okay, we have seen the 5 kingdom classification which was given by Robert Harding Whittaker. Okay, now our main aim is to study the classification of plants. Okay, so we know that the plants are divided into two parts, that is cryptogamy and phanerogamy. Okay, so in today's lecture we are going to see the division or the classification under cryptogamy. Okay, so cryptogams are divided into three divisions. Those are thallophyta, bryophyta and pteridophyta. Okay, so one by one we are going to see these three divisions: thallophyta, bryophyta and pteridophyta. Okay, so to begin with, thallophyta. So this is one of the important division of kingdom Plantae. Okay, so the characteristics are given here. You can see the figures in this particular slide. Okay, this is the picture of ulva and this is the picture of chara. Okay, and here you can see the diagram of spirogyra. All these are examples of this particular division, thallophyta. Okay, so what is thallophyta or what is meant by thallophytes? Okay, these are the plants which grows mainly in water. Okay, you will find these plants growing on a layer of water. Okay, so first characteristic is that thallophytes grows mainly in water. Okay, these plants do not have root, stem, leaves, and flowers. Okay, we have to keep in mind that thallophytes do not have flowers, root, stem, and leaves. Okay, so in this plant you will not going to see leaves, roots, or stems. Okay, and even flower. Most of the thallophytes are autotrophic, okay, due to the presence of chlorophyll. If a plant have this particular organelle called as chlorophyll, that means that this particular plant is going to be autotrophic. What is meant by autotrophic? Autotrophic species, there is nothing but the species which produce their own food. Okay, so any species which can produce their own food are called as autotrophic in nature. Okay, so algae, which is one of the classification of this particular division, thallophyta. So mostly all the algae are autotrophic. Okay, and why they are autotrophic? Because they have chlorophyll within them. Okay, next characteristic, algae may be unicellular or multicellular. So you may find unicellular algae as well as multicellular algae. Okay. Then next is algae के examples यहाँ पे दिए हुए. What are the examples of algae? Spirogyra, Olothrix, Ulva, and Sargassum. Okay, these are the examples of this particular classification algae. Okay, they may be found in fresh water or saline water. So thallophytes may be found in fresh water or saline water. Fresh water मतलब मीठा पानी और saline water मतलब नमकीन पानी, खारा पानी. Okay, fungi like yeast and molds are also included in the group. Okay, so the plants which belong to the kingdom fungi or the classification under fungi, okay, those are also under this particular division, thallophyta. Okay, so this is about thallophyta. You have to learn these characteristics of this particular division. Okay, next it is bryophyta. Okay, so bryophyta is the second division under the cryptogamy. You can see a picture. Okay, these are the examples. This is merchantia. Okay, so these are the examples of this particular division: Anthoceros, Mercia, Riccia. Okay, so what are the characteristics of this particular division? First characteristic, this group are called amphibians. Okay, they are called as amphibians. So the plants which are found or classified under bryophyta are called as amphibians. So do you know what is meant by amphibian? What is meant by amphibian? Amphibian is nothing but a species which can live in water as well as on land. Okay, so these are the plants which requires land but also water to survive. Okay, or to grow. Okay, so bryophyta or bryophytes are the species which required water as well as soil to grow. Okay, they grow in moist soil but need water for reproduction. Okay, so to grow or to produce themselves, they need water. Okay, and they are growing on moist soil. Moist soil मतलब क्या? ऐसी मट्टी जिसमें नमी हो. Okay, now, these are thalloid, multicellular and autotrophic. Okay, तो ब्रायोफाइट्स क्या होते हैं? थैलॉइड होते हैं, मल्टीसेलुलर होंगे और ऑटोट्रॉफिक होंगे. ऑटोट्रॉफिक मीन्स they can produce their own food. Okay, so one by one we will see the characteristics of this particular division, bryophyta. So this group are called amphibians. Amphibians means these are the species which requires water as well as soil to grow or to produce themselves. Okay, so they grow in moist soil but need water for production. Second characteristics, these are thalloid, multicellular and autotrophic. So this species with bryophytes are thalloid in nature. Okay, they are multicellular, that means they can be seen by naked eyes. Okay, they have multi cells. And they are autotrophic. Autotrophic means they can produce their own food. Okay, third characteristic, they reproduce by spore formation. So the reproduction which take place under bryophyta or in bryophytes is by spore formation. Okay, their structure is flat, ribbon-like, long, without true roots, stem, and leaves. Okay, this particular division also does not have true roots, stem and leaves. Okay, so properly developed roots, stems and leaves are not present in bryophytes. Okay, their structure is flat, so they have flat structure. You can see this is flat or it is like a ribbon, it is long. Okay, another characteristic, they have stem like parts and root like rhizoids. Okay, इनके पास parts होते हैं जो stem के जैसे है. For example, you can see in Merchantia, this is stem like part called as archegony 4. Okay, archegony 4. Okay, so this is a stem like part and root like rhizoids. So you can see a rhizoids. Okay, these are root like structure, but they are not properly developed roots. Okay, so these are the characteristics. Another characteristic, they do not have xylem and phloem. So what is xylem and what is phloem? Okay, xylem is the tissue present in plants which helps them to carry water. Okay, this is the tissue which help plant to carry water, xylem. And what is phloem? It is the tissue which helps the plant to carry food. Okay, so xylem जो है वो plants को help करता है वाटर को कैरी करने के लिए और फ्लोएम जो है वो प्लांट्स को हेल्प करता है फूड को कैरी करने के लिए उनके सेल्स तक. ओके, तो ये जो दो पार्ट्स है जाइलम और फ्लोएम, ये ब्रायोफाइट्स में प्रेजेंट नहीं रहते. ओके, एग्जांपल्स क्या है इसके? फुनेरिया है, मर्चेंटिया है, एंथोसेरॉस. ओके, दिस इज एंथोसेरॉस, देन एनरिकिया. ओके, सो दिस आर द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ ब्रायोफाइटा. Now, in the end, we are going to see the another division, that is pteridophyta. Okay. So, what are the characteristics of pteridophyta? Okay, you can observe in the figure. These plants are somewhat different than the normal plants. Okay, they have somewhat different parts with them. So, first characteristic, they have developed roots, stem, and leaves. Okay, these plants have stems and leaves with them. Okay, so you can see stem is there. Okay, leaves is there. Okay, and they have also root with them. They have xylem and phloem. So to carry the water and food within the cells of the same plant, they have this particular organelle called as xylem and phloem. Okay, they do not bear flowers and fruits. Okay, so टेरिडोफाइटा में जो plants है जिन्हें classify किया गया है वो plants flower और fruit पेयर नहीं करते, मतलब इनमें आपको फूल नहीं देखने मिलेंगे और फल भी देखने नहीं मिलेंगे। ओके, they reproduce with the help of spores along the back or posterior surface of their leaves. Okay, ये reproduce reproduction कैसे होता है इनमें भी reproduction आपको spore formation से देखने मिलेगा। आप ये फिगर में देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पर आपको ये डॉट डॉट टाइप कुछ स्ट्रक्चर्स देखने मिल रहे हैं, ये क्या है एक्चुअली स्पोर्स है, क्या है ये स्पोर्स है। ओके, और ये स्पोर्स की मदद से ही ये जो प्लांट्स है वो क्या होते हैं, रिप्रोडक्शन परफॉर्म करते हैं। ओके, और ये स्पोर्स प्लांट के अंदर भी हो सकता है या फिर पोस्टेरियर सरफेस पे भी हो सकता है, सरफेस के ऊपर भी हो सकता है। ओके, एग्जाम्पल क्या है इसके, देखो नेफ्रोलेम्पिस एग्जाम्पल है, मार्सिलिया है, टेरिस है, एडियंटम, इक्विसेटम, सिलागेनेला, लाइकोपोडियम। सो these आर द एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर डिवीजन टेरिडोफाइटा। ओके, देखो अगर असेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन हो रहा है तो इट इज गोइंग टू बी बाय spore formation, and if there is sexual reproduction in pteridophytes, so it is going to be by zygote formation. Okay, so these are the characteristics of these three divisions. Now in the next lecture we will study the another subpart or subgroup of the kingdom plant, that is Phanerogams. Okay, until then, thank you.